In section 5.4, the goal is to write equations in standard form. Standard form is given by ax plus by is equal to c, where a, b, and c are all real numbers, and a and b are not both equal to 0. So in example 1, they want you to write equivalent equations in standard form. The equation they give you is 4x plus 2y is equal to 12. So to write one equivalent equation, you can multiply each side by 0.5. When you're doing this, make sure you distribute your 0.5 through all the terms. If you take 0.5 times 4x, you're going to get 2x. And then 0.5 times 2y is a positive 1y. And then 0.5 times 12 is 6. So one equivalent equation is 2x plus y is equal to 6. For the second one, you can write one equivalent equation by multiplying each side by 2. Again, make sure you distribute correctly. 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times 2y is 4y. And then 2 times 12 is 24. So the second equivalent equation is 8x plus 4y is equal to 24. Checkpoint is pretty much the same way. They want you to write two equations in standard form. They're equivalent to 6x minus 4y is equal to 6. On this one, you can multiply everything by a half. Make sure you do this on both sides. Half of 6x is 3x. Half of negative 4y is negative 2y. And then half of 6 is 3. So there's one equation right there. For the other one, you can multiply everything by 2 and get 12x minus 8y is equal to 12. So one thing to know is that both of these equations are the same. They're just in different form. They're in standard form. Same deal with this one. You've got negative 12x plus 6y is equal to negative 9. Again, go through and distribute your 1/3. All right. 1/3 of negative 12x is negative 4x. 1/3 of 6y is a positive 2y. And then 1/3 of negative 9 is negative 3. You can have fractions for these if you want to. On this one, you can multiply everything by half. Half of negative 12x is negative 6x. Half of 6y is 3y. And then half of negative 9 is negative 9 halves. Moving on to example 2. Write an equation from a graph. So here you've got the point 2, 4 and 6, negative 4. Here they want this to be written in standard form. So first things first, you want to calculate the slope. So in this case, you can make 2, 4 your x1, y1, and then 6, negative 4 your x2, y2. So in this case, you're going to take negative 4 minus 4, and then divide that by 6 minus 2. And then simplifying this, negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. 6 minus 2 is 4, and you're going to get negative 2 for your slope. We could have calculated that also by just looking at the graph, all right? So we could have taken your 2 points right there. There's your rise, negative 4. There's your run of 2. So your slope is negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. So to get the graph, you can get the slope by just looking at the rise over run. Next, you want to write an equation in point slope form. So using any point, they chose 2, 4 for your x1, y1. So here to plug in 4 for y1, and then negative 2 and 4m. And then you're going to plug in 2 for x1. So we made the substitutions for 4 for y1, negative 2 and 4m, and then 2 and 4x1. And then next you want to rewrite this in standard form, so you can go through and distribute your negative 2. We now have y minus 4 is equal to negative 2 times x, which is negative 2x. And then -2 times -2 is a +4 using the distributive property. Next, you want to get the constant by itself, so what you can do now is just add 2x to both sides of your equation. And then doing some scratch work off to the side, we now have y minus 4 plus 2x is equal to 4. And then for the last step, add 4 to both sides of your equation. And now we get y plus 2x is equal to 8. So in this case, you get y plus 2x is equal to 8. And then you want to have this in the form ax plus by is equal to c. So you want to write this 2x plus 1y is equal to 8. So there's the equation in standard form. Moving on to the checkpoints. Here they want you to write an equation in standard form in the lines of 3, -1, and then 2, -4. Again, step 1, you want to calculate the slope. So in this case, you can take m, -4 minus -1, and then divide that by 2 minus 3. If you simplify this, you're going to get -4 plus 1 divided by -1. And then -4 plus 1 is -3. -3 divided by -1 is just 3. So there is your slope. Next, you want to put this into point slope form, or if you want to, slope intercept form. We'll do point slope form. Here we choose any point. Let's just choose 2, -4. So in this case, we're going to get y minus the opposite of 4, and that's equal to 3 times the quantity of x minus 2. And then simplifying this, you're going to get y minus the opposite of -4, which is y plus 4. And then go ahead and distribute your 3. You get 3x minus 6. And then you want to get all the x's and y's on one side to write this in standard form. The form ax plus by is equal to c. So subtract 4 to both sides first. We now get y is equal to 3x minus 10. And then you want to get the x term on the other side of the equation. Subtract 3x to both sides. And then you get -3x plus y is equal to -10. All right, moving on to example 3. Here they want you to write an equation of a line, write an equation of the specified line. So you've got line A and line B. If you look at line A, that is a vertical line. So the x-coordinate of the given point on line A is going to be 3. This means that all points on the line have an x-coordinate of 3. So an equation of the line is just simply x is equal to 3. The y-coordinate of the given point on line B is -6. This means that all points on the line have a y-coordinate of -6. And again, this is a horizontal line. So in this case, you're going to get the horizontal line, y is equal to -6. Moving on to example 4. Here they want you to find the missing coefficient in the equation of the line shown, and then write the completed equation. So in this case, we have ax plus 5y is equal to -3. One thing to note is that we have a point 2, 1. So here we can find that value of a. Substitute the coordinates of the given point for x and y in the equation. So here we're going to substitute in 2 in for x, and then 1 in for y. You now get a times 2 plus 5 times 1 is equal to -3. 5 times 1 is 5. And then bring down your A2 term, which you can rewrite 2a with the coefficient 2 right there. Next, you want to get a by itself, so now we have a two-step equation. You can subtract 5 from each side. So now we get 2a is equal to negative 8. And then for the last step, you want to divide by 2 to both sides of your equation. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4, and there's your value of a. Don't forget to complete the equation, so we know that negative 4 is a. So now we get negative 4x plus 5y is equal to negative 3. Alright, so for the checkpoint, they want you to write equations of the horizontal and vertical lines that pass at the point of negative 10, 5. If we're looking at the vertical lines, we know that x is going to be equal to negative 10. Again, we're looking at the x coordinates. And then for the value of the horizontal line, that is going to be the line y is equal to 5. If you were to look at a graph of this, it would look like this. This won't be drawn to scale. Here is negative 5, negative 10. And then here is 5. So here is the point negative 10, 5. Your vertical line, which we put as green, is line x is equal to negative 10. And the horizontal line is the line y is equal to 5. They're not asking you to graph that, but that would be the graph. And then for 5, find the missing coefficient in the equation, the line that passes through negative 2, 2. And then write the completed equation. So they do give you an ordered pair. So here is x, y. X is negative 2, y is 2. So plug those in. You're going to get 6 times negative 2 plus b times 2. And that's equal to 4. Do take 6 times negative 2. You're going to get negative 12 plus 2b is equal to 4. And then this is a two-step equation, so the first step is to add 12 to both sides of the equation. So now you get 2b is equal to 16. Now we're down to a one-step equation. Divide both sides by 2. The value of b is equal to 8. They do want us to write the completed equation, so please do not forget to do that. So your final answer is going to become 6x plus 8y is equal to 4.